When did you beat the criminal accusations about you? I never thought the world would start hating me because I decided to go bald. I finally shaved my head after months of watching my hair fall out in chunks from chemo. I was tired of finding hair on my pillow, and my wife was tired of pulling it out from her cooter. My wife helped me with the electric clippers, and we both cried a little when the last patches came off. But afterward, I felt free, like I'd taken control of my life, but the world had other plans for me. The next morning, I decided to go to Walmart to pick up my prescriptions and some groceries. I put on my favorite leather jacket because my head felt cold without hair. It was just a normal Tuesday morning, and I was feeling pretty good about finally accepting my new look. The pharmacy tech smiled when she saw me and said I looked tough in a good way. I was pushing my cart through the cereal aisle when I noticed a mom grab her kid's hand and pull him closer. The kid was wearing a Black Panther shirt. She whispered something to him, and they quickly turned down another aisle. I figured maybe she remembered something they forgot to get and didn't think much about it. But then it happened again in the bread section. A black family was comparing prices on wheat bread when the dad saw me and immediately put his hand on his teenage son's shoulder. They abandoned their half-full cart and walked straight toward the exit. The teenager looked confused and kept asking what was wrong, but his parents just kept walking faster. By the time I got to the frozen food section, I was starting to notice a pattern. Every black person in the store was either leaving their aisle when I entered or actively avoiding eye contact. One older black woman clutched her purse tighter when I walked past, even though I was literally holding a box of tampons. My stomach started to sink as I realized what they all thought. I heard someone whisper, "skinhead," as I passed the dairy section. I couldn't believe these people thought a cancer patient was a skinhead, but how could I explain that to strangers who were already scared? I understood their pain, but I wanted to let them know everything was okay. Things got worse at the self-checkout. I was scanning my items when a Walmart employee approached me. She looked like Gail Lewis, a middle-aged white woman with a manager badge, and she looked so proud on her face like she caught a criminal. She stood way too close and kept staring at my bald head. I tried to ignore her and focus on bagging my groceries, but she cleared her throat loudly. "Sir, I'm going to need to check inside your jacket," she announced loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. Other customers stopped scanning their items to watch. A security guard started walking over too. My hands were shaking as I tried to explain I hadn't stolen anything. She crossed her arms and said company policy allowed them to check suspicious individuals. I knew what she meant by suspicious. Bald head plus leather jacket equaled neo-Nasusi in her mind. The same assumption everyone else had made, but she had the power to act on it. My face was burning and my eyes started to water, which made me even more embarrassed. The security guard was standing right behind her now, and other customers were pulling out their phones. "Please just open your jacket, sir," she said, with this smug look like she was about to catch me with pockets full of stolen items. "We can do this the easy way, or I can call the real police." My cancer medication was making me nauseous, and everyone was staring and whispering. Some mom covered her kid's eyes like I was about to do something violent. I unzipped my leather jacket with shaking hands, then I took it completely off and turned around so she could see there was nothing in the pockets. But more importantly, she could see my back. The huge rainbow flag tattoo stretched down my spine with pride, written in bold letters. Underneath it said, "Love wins," in cursive that my artist designed so I could honor my late son's passing. The manager's face went from smug to ghost white in about 2 seconds. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish while she stared at my tattoo. The security guard actually took a step back and rubbed his neck. All the customers who'd been recording suddenly found their groceries very interesting. The silence was so loud you could hear the rats running around. "Have a nice day, sir," she mumbled without making eye contact. She walked away so fast she almost ran into the Feastables display. The security guard muttered something about a misunderstanding and disappeared into the back office. I put my jacket back on and finished paying for my groceries while everyone pretended they hadn't just watched me get profiled and humiliated. I sat in my car in the parking lot for 20 minutes before I felt steady enough to drive home. Part of me was proud that my tattoo had proven them all wrong, but mostly I was just sad that being bald from cancer made people so afraid they'd hide their children from me. My wife held me while I cried that night. I called my son's husband and told him what had happened. That was the loudest I'd heard him laugh since my son's passing.